Hello guys, in this video we are going to make a wheel rim like such. For that we will mainly use revolve, extrude cut and pattern. Now first I will tell you the sequence in which we will go to make this wheel rim. For that first we will create this portion, this highlighted portion, green lighted portion that you can see. After making that we will cut this extrude portion. Now after cutting this portion we will make holes, and after making holes we will make this outer portion for mounting the tire. So let's begin it. So we will close it and we will create a new file. Uncheck this. Now click on OK. Go to millimeter kg second and then OK. Now I have already made this wheel rim and I have taken some screenshot from that. So we will follow that screenshots. Now for making the first part we have to draw this sketch and we have to revolve it around an axis. Now for making a revolve feature, first we have to draw a section, and for that we will go to the model and then go to the sketch. Now we will draw that portion on the top plane. So we will click on the top plane and then we will go to the sketch. After selecting the top plane, now for making a revolve feature we have to use a center line about which section will be revolved. Now for that we have to first put a center line. So we will click on center line, then we will click on this vertical dotted line. So here you can see a center line and we will align it as a vertical like this. Now after putting a center line we will draw the section. Now for making a section, first we have to make a center line at a distance of 30 mm. So we will go to the center line, then first click on this horizontal line and then align it to vertical and then left click once. Now this dimension is nothing but 30 mm. After putting the center line we will start to draw the section, for which we will draw first rough sketch and after that we will give the dimensions. Now for that we will draw the section like this. First 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here we will go to the line and then we will draw the section. Now the section is somewhat like that. After that we have to go like this and then this, and here also. Like this. Now after making this section we will give the dimension. So here you can see that this line has the length of 25 mm. So here it is nothing but 25 mm. Now you can see the angle of this line with this horizontal line is nothing but 135. So we will give the angle, and for that here this line is having angle of 135. So here we will give 135. After giving an angle, here there is another angle of this line with the horizontal line which is nothing but 100 degree. So here the angle of this, it is nothing but 100 degree. Now here you can see that this point is on this vertical line and this horizontal line has a dimension of 15 mm. For that we will give here the dimensions is 15 mm. After giving the dimensions, Now here the distance in between this line and this line is nothing but 20. So here we will go to the normal, we will click on this line, we will control and then left click on this line. So this distance is nothing but 20 mm. Now you can see that our section is somewhat looking like this. Now what we have to do is we will first make this line. Now for that we will draw a horizontal line at a random distance, and after that we will give dimension to it. Now for that we will go to the line and we will draw a horizontal line, and the dimensions of horizontal line is 60. So and it is 30-30 on the both side of this center line. So here we will give it 16 and it is at a 30. After giving these two dimensions, we have to give the dimension, or we have to give the distance of this line from this center line, and that is nothing but 200 mm. So for that we will click on normal, select this line, press Ctrl, select this center line and then click on the scroll button, and here we will enter as 200 mm. Now after making these two, what we will do is that we will create this line with an angle of 10 degree. So for that we will go to the line, and now we will create the line like this. After creating this line, we will give the angle is 10 degree, and then we will give the length of this line. Now here you can see that the distance of this point from the center line is 25. So we will give this. So we will click to the normal, select the end point of the line, press Ctrl, select the center line and then press on the scroll button. So here it is nothing but 25 mm. Now after making this, the last thing which is remaining is nothing but we have to make these two arcs. Now the dimension of arc are, the inner arc has a dimension of 87. It means it has a radius of 87. For that first we will make a circle. So click on circle and we will make a circle, and having the diameter of 87 into 2. After making this circle, what we will do is that we will first coincide this circle with this endpoint. So here click on coincident, click on the circle, and after that click here at the endpoint of this line. So here you can see that we have made it coincident, and here at this end we will give tangency. We will give tangency of the circle to this line. So for that we will go to the tangent, we will click on this, and after that we will click on this line. So here we have given the tangency. After giving these two constraints, we will delete the remaining unwanted portion. For that we will click on delete segment, then click on this unwanted segment of the circle. Now after making this, what we will do is we will extend this line to some extent. For that, because we have to give the tangent to the arcs, for that we will extend these lines. and also we have to make these two lines parallel, and for that here the angle is nothing but 135. So now after making this we will make this arc, and for making the arc we will draw first two circles and we will give the coincident at this point and tangent at this point. Now for that first we will draw a circle with the diameter of 87 times 2. Now for that we will go to the center and point, it means circle, and now we will draw circle, and it is having the diameter of 87 times 2. After making this we will first give coincident. For that we will click on coincident, then we will click on the circle, and after that we will click on the end point of this line. After making it coincident we will make it tangent to this line, and for that we will go to the tangent, click on the circle, and after that click on the line. So now we have made coincident. After making coincident we will delete the unwanted portion of the circle. For that we will go to the delete segment, then we will delete the unwanted segment. So here we have made this inner arc successfully. After making inner arc, the same way we will make the outer arc, which is having the diameter of 220. Now for that we will first draw a circle and we will give it the dimension as 220. After that we will go to the coincident, then we will click on the circle and the end point of this line. After giving it coincident we will give the tangency to the circle, so for that we will click on the tangent, then click on the circle, and after that we will click on this line. So here we have given the coincident and also tangent, and after that we will delete the unwanted portion. For that we will go to the delete segment, then we will delete these unwanted lines. And now you can see that our section has been completed. Now we have to revolve the section about this center line that we have created earlier. For that click on OK, and now we will click on the revolve. So here, and then click on OK. So now we have made this portion. Now we have to cut some portion from that, so that we will make, so we will cut the portion like this. For that we will use the extrude command. Now we will go to the extrude and then we will select the front plane. After selecting the front plane, what we have to do is that we have to draw a line. First we will give the reference to the outer circle. After giving the reference to the outer circle, we will draw two lines like this. So first here you can see constraint that showing that the point or the cursor is on the periphery of the circle. Now click first, after that click on the vertical line and then make it like that. Now here the angle in between these two lines is given and it is nothing but 55 degree. So here we will go to the normal, then we will left click on the line, press Ctrl, left click on second line and then click on the scroll button, and here this angle is nothing but 55 degree. So we will enter here 55 and then click. Now after doing this, what we will do is that we will create this fillet here, which is having the radius of 15 mm. Now here we will go to the fillet, we will select this both the lines by pressing Ctrl and then here you can see that we have made the fillet, but it is having the radius of 35.928, which should be 15 mm. So we will enter here 15. Now after making the fillet, we have to give the dimension to this highlighted green line. So for that, here the dimension is nothing but 110. So we will go to the normal, we will select this line and we will click on the scroll button and we will give here 110 and then enter. Now we have done all the parts. After that, for making a close section, we will draw a circle which is similar to the outer circle, and then we will delete the unwanted portion of the circle for making the closed section. Now you can see we have successfully made the closed section, and then we will click on OK. Now we have to cut this portion, but here we have made it on the front plane, which is in the middle of the first revolve feature. For that, and in order to cut this portion through this revolve feature, we have to select here extrude on both the sides, and after that we have to select extrude cut. Then we will click on OK. Now in order to make the rim, we have to make the pattern of this extrude, and we have to make the pattern by 7 times, and here we will use the axis pattern. For that, here select axis. Now we have to select the axis around which we want to make the pattern, so we will select this axis. Now we have to give the number of such extrusion we want to make, so here we will give 7, then enter, and here we will click on the angle and then click on OK. So you can see that we have made the portion. After making this, we will make the holes for the nuts and bolts. For that, we will also use revolve feature. Now for making the holes, we will go to the sketch and then we will select the top plane, and then we will go to the sketch. So here you can see this type of portion. Now for making the holes, we have to draw the section like this, and for that we will also draw a center line like that. So, or we can also make it, we have to give revolve to this section about this center line. For that, first we will put a center line, and after that we will draw this section. Now first we will put a center line at random distance which is vertical. Now after putting a center line, here we can see that the distance of this center line from this center line is nothing but 46 plus 7, which is nothing but 53. So here we will give it 53. After giving the distance to the center line, here we will draw this section. First we will draw the section with the random dimension, and after that we will give the exact dimension. Now we will draw the section. For that we will go to the line and then we will draw the section. Now we have made the section, but it has not exact dimension. For that we will give the dimension. Here this line has the length of 7 mm. For that we will go to the normal, then we will click on that line, and here we will click on the scroll button. Now here we will enter the value 7. After giving this, we will give the value to this horizontal line. So here it is nothing but 12 mm. So here we will enter 12 mm. Now the vertical distance of this line is 45 mm. So here it is 45. Now after giving this, here the angle in between these two lines is nothing but 150. For that, here we will go to the normal. So we will left click on this line, we will press Ctrl, then left click on this line, and then we will press scroll button. So here it is nothing but 150. Now after making this, you can see that this portion is somewhat after from this line, because we have to make the hole through this portion, and now here we have to give the length to this line, which is nothing but 12 mm. So here we will go to the normal, we will click on this line, and then we will click on the scroll button, and here we will give 12 mm. Now in order to make the hole through, it should be outside this. For that, we will enter here 50 mm, and then we will click OK. Now here we will go to the OK. After making this, we will click on the revolve, and then we will click here cut. So you can see that here we have made one hole. After that, we will click on OK. Now we have to make the pattern of this hole. For that, we will go to the pattern, then select here pattern. Now here we will use the axis pattern. For that, here in this drop down we will select axis, and now we have to make the pattern around this axis. So select this axis, and we have to make 5 such holes. For that, we will enter here 5, then enter, and after that we will click on this angle button, and then click on OK. Now the only one portion is remaining, which is nothing but the mount portion where we mount the tires. So here, to make it this portion, we will also use the revolve feature, and for that first we will make a sketch. For making a sketch, we will click on the sketch, then we will select the top plane, and then we will go to the sketch. Now we will draw the section by the random dimension, and then we will give it the dimension. So here we will draw the section like this. For that, we will go to the line, and after making the line, we will draw the section of random dimensions. Now this dimension is nothing but 20 mm, and this dimension is nothing but 10 mm. We will give the dimension to this line, which is also 10 mm. Now here you can see that the distance of this line from the center line around which the section will be revolved is nothing but 200. So here we will give it as a 200, and then here you can see that this distance is 20, and now final the distance in between two extreme line is nothing but 150. So here we will go to here, you can see that this distance is nothing but 150, and the distance of this extreme edge from the center line is nothing but 40. So we will click on normal, then left click on this line, press Ctrl, left click on this line, and then press scroll button, and here it is nothing but 40 mm. So after giving the dimensions, we have to make the revolve pattern, and for that we will insert a center line. So here go to the center line, and then we will put a center line, and after that click on OK. After making this portion, we will go to the revolve feature, and then we will click on Okay, so here you can see that we have successfully made the wheel rim, and now you can give the round to all these edges for making it smooth and looking quite better from this.